Kagurabachi. And at that, I'm going to pass this one also to Josh.
It's me again. Hello.
Hello.
Kagurabachi. Chapter number 108, N10 versus Magatsumi. So last week, Samura was down bad, but right before he could be done up for sure, Chihiro came and let this guy Akamura,
Yeah,
right?
Nakamura.
The sword, the sword, the Shinichi sword master, let him know that actually my power was designed to counter you. Yeah.
Mm.
So, we got a lot of other conjecture about, not conjecture. Akimura was talking a little bit more about his ideals, and we actually learned that he didn't lose in the fight against the five swordsmen. That he simply just stopped and or ran out of juice. Maybe they didn't win because they beat him in a fight. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So ultimately, Chihiro is probably the only one that could pull it off. So starting this week, they're getting right into the action. Akimura tells him in the beginning, he is like, "You're my sister's son. If possible, I'd prefer not to kill you." As Chihiro tells him, "I have to stop you. Fighting is my only option." It is what it is, and they get into action. This is a heavily action-packed chapter, by the way. Akimura tells Chihiro not to attempt the impossible. He said, "You aren't fully healed, are you?" He knows. He knows his health is uncritical. As we cut to stop, did you want to say something?
No.
All right.
I'll
We know that as we cut to Samura laying down, trying his very best to, push the remainder of his healing factor onto Chihiro, but we already know the conundrum with that their life force is being sapped just by Akimura being around them with his sword drawn. It's a real nuisance. So the healing he's trying his best to heal Chihiro, but it's just essentially neutralized against Akimura's passive. Anyway, yeah, so we get some more glazing of the Shinichi, talking about how it's a different class from the other enchanted blades. Right. I mean, someone like Samura or the Cloud Gouger user was never going to be able to stand up to like a sword like this alone. So Samura says that he's making a wager, and that's the N10's ability can dispel the Magatsumi's life draining power because the N10 was forged to counter the malediction. It is the only sword capable of taking on the Magatsumi, which we already established already. In an arena dominated by the Shinichi, he is the only one who dances freely. Pretty fucking cool. He's like, Chihiro says, "It's time to fulfill my mission." They start going crazy. Chihiro is approaching from. It just has an omnidirectional approach from everywhere: northwest, south, northwest, north, south, east, west,
northwest, south, north, south, north, southeast, south, north.
Many different degrees of angles and all of that. I couldn't tell you all of them. You'd have to just see it for yourself. But unfortunately, Akamura is parrying every single strike. As Chihiro thinks to himself, even after facing Samura at his best, the Swordmaster is completely unscathed, and his reaction speed is completely off the charts. Akamura seems to notice one of Chihiro's goldfish, which is how he's been transferring around to like slash him in the first place, and makes a read that Chihiro's going to appear there. As he tries to land a dragonfly move on him, Chihiro quickly responds with an Akka, which a little refresher. Akka is the ability that is both like offensive, it's both defensive and offensive because it can absorb like the force of an ability and then then like use it himself to both attack the enemy and also learn about it, like and how to counter it. Very cool ability. But the problem is that he still, the slash was so strong that he, still took some damage out of it. Like his Akka wasn't enough to fully absorb the brunt of that hit. So he can't just keep doing that. He's gonna lose eventually. Specifically with Dragonfly. Anyway, Chihiro starts to say that he's at his limit. He can't like that last Suzaku. That last Suzaku put him at his limit, and if he takes another blow like that, it's over. He starts talking a lot about how Akamura slashes, that it's not like a projectile type of situation where he sends a slash at you. He cuts space itself, kind of like Sukuna.
Yeah.
From Jujutsu Kaisen,
slash.
if you know the series.
I think I've heard of it.
You've heard of it?
I've heard of it.
Yeah. So its slashes are impossible to evade because he slashes space himself. He can probably slash through infinity. It even took down Samura. That was when he obliterated that building. That was the slash, I think. Akamura then goes on the offensive and unleashes a butterfly. I don't know exactly what that does, but Chihiro's explaining more about how deadly his slash is. But Chihiro could basically see it. He's like, when the attack is about to strike, when the air whispers, Chihiro's eyes are able to perceive it. The blaze pathway is revealed, and Chihiro is able to successfully parry his attack and go right for Akamura's head, and actually slash his cheek a bit. Nice move, Chihiro. And it was at this point Samura confirmed it, and I believe also Akamura says that Chihiro and the Enten are a real threat. Then, in what is my favorite part of the entire chapter, Akamura is like, "Oh, pardon me, I see." So it appears you are also a samurai. My bad. Let me treat you like the big boy you are and show you something real quick. He reverse parries him. Very similar to if you played Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Link has a move where he can like slow down time and dodge a move. But when you fight against Ganon in the final battle, he can also slow down time and react to your slowdown. It's pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And that's basically what Akamura did. He Ganondorfed this nigga Chihiro, super parried his move, looks at him with the most grimy, dirtiest face you've seen since the Dirty Deku arc, and then continues to slash at Chihiro's Enten blade and break it in half.
That was a surprise, man.
Yes, breaks the enchanted blade that Chihiro and his father worked on when he was a young boy. As we see flashbacks in his mind, go through it. Akamura then puts his hand on the left side of his chest and says, "The heart's on the left, right?" And then thrusts the Makatsumi blade straight through what I'm assuming is his heart. And that is the end of the chapter. Brian, what are your thoughts?
Okay. So, I don't know if you guys remember me saying this, but this must have been a long time ago. I said that I think Chihiro is going to make his own sword.
I don't remember that, but I believe you.
I remember that.
And I think that it's that time. I was like, oh shit, no way it's actually happening.
Was Brian right?
When I saw this, I was like, oh shit. But it makes sense, right? It makes sense for Chihiro to have to make his own sword. Because he's kind of becoming his own man essentially in this moment. Like, right, like for the enchanted blades to kind of truly kind of, I guess, change, because like when Chihiro's dad made them, he made them to kind of destroy the other ones. So it's inherently it's still kind of flawed in a way, because it's still being thought of as a weapon to destroy still, even though its intentions are pure. But Chihiro wants to use it to protect. That's what, like, even in the beginning of this fight, he's like, I'll show you that, you know, these swords are used to protect people. But Enten is not used to protect people. It's used to destroy other weapons. So Chihiro and Enten still didn't really align with each other in a way. So in order for Chihiro to truly be able to defeat the Magatsumi, he has to have a sword that matches his intent. And the sword that he's going to make now is going to be one that's used to protect. You know what I mean? One that actually, you know, does what he wants, does what his will wants him to do. So that aside, this was the coldest fucking shit I've ever seen a villain do. This shit was so fucking cold. He was essentially playing with Chihiro this entire time. But then the moment that Chihiro had, like, even the slightest bit of, like, competence that he felt like, oh shit, this kid might actually be something. He's like, all right, this is done. And it was done. Like, immediately, which is so fucking, I don't know, man. This guy is such a good villain so far. Everything he's done in this series so far has been so worth the hype that they built him up for. But yeah, that this is my RGC.
Oh.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
God damn, man. I don't know how Chihiro's going to get out of this alive. I'm sure Samura is going to be involved in it to some capacity, probably a sacrificial play.
Shut up, Brian. Don't even say that. You son of a bitch. Why would you say that?
Just putting it out there.
The hell? Sacrificial? He doesn't need to die.
I think he dead. I think this guy's dead as hell. It's over. It's over for him now. Only one of these two could get out of here alive.
That's not true. That's not true. That's simply not true.
That's just a cope. But people with agendas.
I am coping very hard right now.
That is just a cope by people with agendas.
But at the same time, Akamura has to disappear at this point as well. Because if Akamura gets free, then everybody else dies. So whatever's about to happen after this is going to be convenient for everybody on all ends.
Hopefully for me.
But damn, what a fucking chapter. Chris, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, this was also my RGC.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
You know, one thing I was like, I didn't even know the Enten could be broken so easily. You know what I mean? It's just like, well, damn, I thought this sword was special. And it is to a degree, but oh my God, they really broke it like that. It was crazy. But yeah, I think this was my RGC just because the action was great. The suspense was awesome here. Just the idea of, you know, Akamura being like an uncle who's playing video games with his nephew, and as soon as like the nephew gets a leg up, he's like, "Let me show you something real quick."
Let me use my main. Show you the levels. Matter of fact, let me use one of my pockets and show you.
Yeah. I'm about to rock your world with Pikachu right now. It's not even gonna be easy, you know. But yeah, I mean, the art was great. I love this little moment where like Chihiro's literally having flashbacks to having made the N10, because it is the last memento of his dad, you know, like
Yeah.
and it was something he made with him, you know, like this is a special item, you know what I mean, on even more so than the other blades. But yeah, man, this is pretty nuts. So there's two ways this could play out, and you know, obviously Kagurabachi's writer is, you know, he knows what he's gonna do, and it's gonna it could even, you know, exceed these expectations, or but it's either, you know, Samura lives to heal Chihiro's wound, or Samura dies healing Chihiro's wound. Because he's not going to be healing. He's not going to be healing himself. He's going to be putting all the energy into healing Chihiro. I think Akamura here purposefully missed his heart, actually, because he was making sure he didn't hit the heart. He was just like probably the other side of the chest. But man, yeah. And it could be possible that Akamura just leaves here and he's like, hey, heal him or something. And then
imagine.
And Samura maybe lives. Oh my God.
Or maybe he's like, you're going to die, but heal him.
Yeah.
You know, so he doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know, it's fine. It's whatever. My first L. Fuck. Fucking shit.
We'll see. Maybe
I hit a buzzer beater at the end there.
Yeah, the sword masters can pull up.
You know what? I'm gonna say
they can't win against him.
I'm gonna stick to my guns because Samura needs to be around to teach his daughter the white purity style before he dies, for real. You know what I mean? Like really teach it to her. Be like, yeah, I gotta show you the final form.
How do you think her and Chihiro are gonna develop a relationship?
Yeah,
romance through practicing the EA purity style, bro.
Yeah,
they don't need Samura there for that.
I have a chance. As long as Samura takes breath, I still have a shot. But yeah, this was a great chapter overall. I'm very excited to see how it all plays out. For a second, I thought Chihiro actually did like a shadow clone jutsu type thing with the fish, because there was a bunch of fish surrounding Akamura, and then there was like a ton of him. But it was probably that he was just moving a whole ton faster. It makes sense. But yeah, those are all my thoughts, really. I thought this was a fantastic chapter. Any other rebuttals before? Oh, Josh, what did you think?
Yeah, I don't have too much to say. Other than I think obviously Chihiro lives past this, right? But it mattered. It mattered that he was able to parry the butterfly move. And what Samura saw, like that was real hope, you know, and it's just a matter of Chihiro just being a better swordsman and probably having obviously he's gonna have to rebuild his sword, and there's no way it's gonna be exactly the same. He's got to have some type of upgrade with it, right? I mean, this is a shonen manga, for God's sake. It's got to have something, you know? So, yeah, that's that. I don't know what's going to happen next, but this was really well done. It probably would have got the RGC for me if like One Piece didn't perfectly line up with me finishing, like, you know, catching up at the end of the backstory, you know, it is what it is.